Hello, everybody. Welcome to or welcome back to my channel. I'm Susan Lynn. I'm a psychic and a medium. Today, we're going to be talking about SCOTUS, otherwise known as the Supreme Court of the United States of America. And we're going to be talking about A.O.C, House Representative, one of our progressive House representatives that has really become a powerhouse, right? She was a little bit way to the left, you might say, and now she's really come more to left of center. And with that, she's really started picking up a lot of power. She's really become a seasoned representative. And I feel like she's working more closely with the Biden administration. I'm not saying she's rubber stamping anything he does, because if you know A.O.C, you know she does not rubber stamp anything. She simply goes where her heart leads her. So I want to talk about these two forces of nature today, because A.O.C has sent a letter to Garland at the DOJ saying, hey, we got a big problem over here in SCOTUS where it seems like maybe Thomas has done some things that are very unethical, and we would like for you to look into them. Okay, now, why is this important? Well, I mean, I know you're saying, well, Susan, it's really important. I know. As a matter of fact, I just want to say the spirit guides say you guys are freaking out about the Supreme Court right now. That's why I'm doing this video. So just don't freak out. It's going to be fine. I will also say to you that I'm channeling this, and it's 40% me, 60% elevated beings that really don't give a shit about the Supreme Court. So when I tell you, don't worry, please understand it's coming from them. And we all know, if you've been here for a while, that you have one recourse, and that is only one recourse, and that is to call 1-800 Spirit Guides, press 1 for complaints. Also, that line is always busy. So listen, don't worry, truly don't worry, because the end result, I'm channeling this message, the end result does not impact the United States of America in a way that is detrimental. That's what they just said. Okay, now, I will say this, because again, if you're a little bit of a viewer here, if you're not, welcome, hit the subscribe button, because God only knows what the hell is coming up next. But you will know that I'm the kind of psychic that likes to go under or over, or maybe even just snip the velvet ropes that keep me where I'm supposed to be, right? Like, you know, you're a psychic, you're supposed to see this. Well, no, I'm the one who's going to get in trouble and go under the curtain around the red velvet ropes and see what the heck is going on in the back room of the back rooms. So I will say this about this situation. We are, the guides, the spirit guides are telling you everything is okay. And I agree with them, right? Like, I don't think we're going to be skippity doo-dah happy, but I think that we're going to feel like we've dodged a bullet. Okay. So if you're somewhere where somebody's shooting at you, you're already not in the best possible place to be. And then to say, God dang, they shot a bullet at me, but it missed. That's somehow supposed to make us feel better. That's supposed to be like, oh, you're so lucky. Like one time they showed me a hurricane coming for me, and they said, oh, but you'll be lucky. And I was like, are y'all for real? Can I get new spirit guides? I mean, what level of membership subscription do I have to pay to get an upgrade? Right. And it is true, though, even though I had 7 feet of water in my business. Yeah, I did. It sucked. Ruined a lot of my life for a minute. But yeah, in the end, I ended up saying, yeah, I was lucky. So I don't understand. But anyway, I digress. Here's the deal. We will feel like we dodged a bullet. Now, and we'll have a sense of relief. Okay, right. Again, like Susan interjects and says, well, you know, if somebody's shooting at you and you didn't get shot, you should feel freaking relieved. Anyway, I'm a little bit powered up by coffee this morning. So here's what I want to tell you about that. The thing is this, is that we are getting a reprieve. This is a reprieve. It's a close call. There's no doubt about it. We've dodged a bullet. We will have dodged a bullet. Trump is not going to win the presidency. A lot of shite is going to go down for sure. It's not going to be a walk in the park all the way to 2024, 5, 6, 7. It's not going to be a walk in the park. But here's the thing that I would just say. Because we've been given this reprieve, it's like we've been given another chance to get it right. We've been given another chance to govern better. We've been given another chance to hold these people accountable to a higher level of ethics. Okay. Now this message dovetails exactly with what they've been saying for a few years now, in the sense that they said, yeah, the Democrats are going to win. And I'm not saying that the Democrats are some freaking, I don't know what that word is, but anyway, I almost had it. We're not perfect. Let's just say that we're not perfect. But right now, we're all we have. We're as perfect as we can get. Given the choices we have, the Democrats are the best choice of all the choices we have. Okay. So going forward, we have this opportunity. The Democrats are going to be in all the power. These words they want to use, stanchions of power. Like, what do we care? What is that word? I don't even think it makes sense. A stanchion is anyway. Okay. Pillars of power. Okay, pillars of power is better. They're still trying to give me the word that I couldn't get before. So now things are getting clogged up there. Democrats are going to have control. Let's just put it that way. Now, here's the scary part. If you want to ask me, because I'm seeing way into the future. I don't really care about July. Apparently something's going to happen in July. But I mean, I'm seeing into 25. That's unfortunately how my guides work. If you want to know what's happening right now, go look at my videos 2-3 months ago. Just go watch them. They're entertaining, if nothing else, right? Because people are commenting that I talked about the gag order months ago. This is just how my guides work. Their sense of time is completely different than ours. So I'm looking into the future, and this is what the guides have always said, and it dovetails. And I swear to God, I'm going to get back to SCOTUS in just 1 second. But all of this is of a piece. It all fits together. I am not really that far off the mark, they're saying. So, which is good because I'm channeling them. So you would think. Anyway. So here's the deal, guys. We have like 2 years, right? This is what the guides have always said. We're going to win in 24. We have until 26. We have until the midterms. In 2 years, with a majority. Now, the razor line here that I can't figure out, because I don't think it's been decided yet. Are we going to have a majority, like a simple majority, or are we going to have a super majority? If we have a super majority, well, then we can get rid of the filibuster, and we can bring women's right to choose back, and we can fix these voting maps, and we can fix healthcare, and we can actually tax the rich, and we can actually get all the things done that we need to get done. We really can. We can do it. Will we have the stomach to do it? Will we have the courage to do it? That is free will. Will these Democrats and a few Republicans that remain, I mean, we're going to have Republicans, obviously, but not as many as there are now. Okay. So, and even then, of course, a lot of them aren't going to vote for, sanity, but a few will, because a few are going to have seen the, complete and total rout that's going to happen this November. And they're going to have gotten the message, and they're going to say, hey, if I want to stay in this gig, I need to come to the center. So you're going to see that. But are we going to come to the left of center? Because right now that's where we need to go. And you want to know why? Because the center's been drugged to the right. That's why. Okay. So if we do these things, we will move, we'll move everything forward towards ethics, towards really holding these pillars of power accountable. Now we go back to SCOTUS, right? So here's what's important about what's happening right now is that A.O.C. has, she's triggered a shot across the bow of the Supreme Court. She wouldn't have done that if she didn't have ammo, if she didn't have a clear shot. I hope you understand how important this is. This marks a huge change in the energy. the guides always tell you, and people have said this too, right? If you're going to come for the king, you only have one shot. The Supreme Court is just like the king. You're not really going to waste your time going up against the Supreme Court if you don't have a clear shot, if you don't have a clear opportunity. Now, I'm not saying to you, and the guides aren't saying to you, that this is like done, like this is Thomas is done right now. Because the other thing that I've really gotten wrong is timing, right? Like a lot of the things the spirit guides have told you have really come to fruition, or else you guys wouldn't be watching me because, I'd be wrong all the time. But the timing has been really a problem for me. So, but I'm going to go into this energy right now because I feel like what I do on my channel is I explain the why. A lot of people can tell you XYZ is going to happen, and then they've got whatever chance of being right. Well, I can give you a fish, or I can teach you how to fish, right? To switch metaphors midstream, because why not? So we like to explain why these people are acting this way. What is the energy doing? Because if we know that AOC feels like she's got a good shot at Thomas through Garland, then we know that Thomas is weak, don't we? We know that Garland might be more receptive to this, don't we? Because if you don't think that AOC is over there with her ears, hearing the chatter, hearing the talk about everything that's going on, meaning, well, this case was ruled this way, or this assistant leaked this about that. The inner talk amongst the inner circle of our government, the inside the beltway chatter is what the guides are calling it. You know what I mean? She's hearing that chatter. They assemble all of this intel. Some of it is gossip. Some of it is really trustworthy. And then they decide, is this a good time? Is this a good time? Because why wasn't it a good time when ProPublica, which is a fantastic, I'm telling you guys, we need to support them because they are a nonprofit, like basically, will work for coffee, investigative reporters, ProPublica. I'm not going to spell it. I spelled it last time. When ProPublica broke the story about Thomas and all his largesse, all his, luxury rated RV, all of his, vacations that were paid for, all these private jet trips. Now, I heard a mainstream journalist say, well, all the Supreme Court people get this. No, that is BS. I'm sorry, that's BS. Who was it? One of the Supreme Court justices, female liberal justices, who returned some food because it went over $25 or something, like some bagels or something. I mean, come on. It's not all the same. That's a bunch of bull hockey for real. So if that was an opening, why didn't somebody shoot an arrow then? Why didn't somebody do something then? And I know you're asking the same question, like, yeah, Susan, why didn't they? Because that was a pretty big splash. Everybody covered the story. Thomas said, oh, I didn't know I was supposed to report this to the IRS, or, oh, I didn't know, or, oh, I went on some trusted advice from my legal counsel. That's a bunch of bull hockey too. Well, let's just say that sort of tenderized him. I don't know why they use this. Maybe one of my spirit guides is like a carnivore. I don't know. But they often talk about softening up, right? So tenderizing, you could think about it in meat, but you could also think about softening something up. You soften up a witness. You soften up a potential suspect. You soften them up, You're nice to them. Can I get you some water? Can I get you some coffee? Right? I'm sure you didn't mean to kill your ex. You know what I mean? You try to be like, hey, we're just a couple of people talking about killing people. It's okay, right? So anyway, in this way, they're softening him up. They allowed, what the guides are saying is they allowed that brouhaha, that big splash of publicity to come out against Thomas. And then you know what AOC and some of these Democrats who believe in government, believe in ethics, do you know what they did? They waited. They didn't jump. They needed to be very circumspect. They needed to really plan this. So they waited and they decided to give it some months to see how the public reacted. Because if you're a public person, if you're elected by the public, that's your boss. So you want to see, what does the public think about this? If you want to be in office for a while, you need to gauge the public and the public's fervor or their upset or their nonchalant about whatever it is. So they waited and they're taking the temperature of the public. And they're taking the temperature of the public's support for SCOTUS. They're taking the public's temperature for the support of, 45, of different things. Well, look around you. The fact that unions are burgeoning, the fact that students are protesting. Also, the guides are saying, look at the midterms, look at the last elections, look at any special elections. Every special election of any importance and some, very small special elections have been won outright by Democrats. This is data. This is data that these Democrats are collecting. So now they're like, okay, now he's weak. Thomas is weak. That's what they're saying. Thomas is weak. We're going to take a shot at him. Now they know this is not the shot that's going to take him out. I just want to be clear about this. This is not the shot that's going to take Thomas out. But just like 45, they told you guys years ago that we could do this one of two ways. We meaning, I don't know, we meaning the royal we, the spirit, the energy, whatever. You could take Trump out with a single KO. You could knock him out, take him out, done, story over. And I'm like, I vote for that. I vote for that. Me, vote for that. They were like, no, that's not the way humans, meaning Garland and whoever, are going to do this in the states. I mean, Garland is not in control of Jack Smith. Jack Smith is his own man, his own private investigator. He doesn't answer to Garland. He has complete and total independence. And the states have independence of Garland and Jack Smith. 5 arrows, y'all. They're all independent of each other. But this is how the overall energy decided to deal with 45, was body blows. Take him down one after another. Soften him up so that he goes of his own volition through a health event, or by the time he goes, the public is on board with it. Do you understand what we just said? Did you understand how they just tied it all together? They're softening Thomas the way they've softened 45. He does not have the same zealots, the same fervor, the same support that he had 6 months ago. He has nobody at his court dates. His own family isn't even in court with him. Serial killers often have their own family in court with them if they haven't killed them. Trump doesn't have the support because the way they played the game, the way all of the different prosecutors from all the independent agencies decided to play the game. Now, do you think they all got on the phone with each other and said, this is how we're going to do it? Because no, they did not. They did not. Another thing Spirit Guides told you many moons ago is that Spirit would come in and put their big size 13 Spirit shoes, don't care, male, female, they got big shoes, boots on the scale to help us. To help us. That's exactly the words they used in a video. They're here. You might call it karma. Karma's here because we've gotten so out of balance, right? They always tell you guys that, Earth is energy, right? This Earth is energy. Everything is energy. And our Earth has a certain its own little cute wobble, its own little cute walk that it does around the solar system. But guess what? Because our energy is so out of whack right now, our Earth is kind of like going kind of like, like a flat tire on the side of the road. Oh, we ain't looking good to the other planets. We look jacked up. So that got the attention of karma, of the multidimensional police. I don't know who they are, but they're like calling 911 on Earth going, y'all need to get over there and help that planet. It's about to mess up the rest of us, because energy is energy. If you're sending out a wonky energy, it's going to wonk up somebody else. And they ain't going to be having that. Ain't nobody no wonky energy up in their business. So here we are. Spirit is helping us. All of this stuff is starting to fit together. They softened up 45 to where his support is gone. Do you guys see any more? I know when I say this, some of you guys say, oh, they're still in my red community. Well, in Texas, and granted, I'm not in the deepest, darkest red Texas, but I'm in red Texas, and I saw the takeover of my town from blue to red, and it is red. And I see, we have an election coming up in May. I see all the signs in the yards of all the conservative Republicans for pencil pusher, for dog catcher. I mean, for any position these days, if you're running for a position, it could be hairdresser to the governor. I'm a Republican. It's like, what the heck? I'm a conservative Republican. But there aren't any Trump signs. Okay. He's losing his support because they've softened him up. Death by 1,000 cuts, right? Instead of the KO, no, they decided death by 1,000 cuts. In retrospect, of course, I was really probably, you might say, not happy about that at the beginning, but now looking back in retrospect, that's exactly the way we needed to do it, because we have disarmed them. His support is diminishing. Now, the same thing with Thomas. This is exactly the same playbook. I hope you guys can understand it and see it so clearly. They've allowed Thomas to be besmirched. This is the word they always use, besmirched in the court of public opinion. He is besmirched. Things will continue to come out about him. There's more things. The guides are telling me, because this is like months and months ago that I saw this reporting. Didn't he have a nephew that Harlan Crow paid for his school, his private schooling? Oh, it's deep. The malfeasance, the unethical acts are deep with this man. Okay. And the guides are reminding me, it goes back to, apparently, supposedly, and all of this is for entertainment purposes only, it goes back to Thomas saying, this pay is peanuts. I'm not going to be a Supreme Court justice if this is all I'm getting paid. Like, I don't know, 200,000, 250, 30,000 a year. He says that's peanuts, not worth it. Well, once he said that, according to reporting, if you add the dates together, Thomas says this here, and then, oops, all of a sudden, here comes paid vacations. Here comes the RV. Here comes Harlan Crow buying his mother's house. Read the ProPublica reporting on this. It's the reason we are where we are, because ProPublica went and interviewed the people that served drinks on the yacht. They interviewed the neighbors of Thomas's mother. They went deep. They sourced this so deep, nobody can say it's not true. Okay, and you could take this to the court. I mean, it's really verified information. So more and more and more stuff is going to come out. Plus, the old stuff, the stuff that's already been reported, is going to continue to have a new life. It's like, I don't know why or how, maybe it's spirit doing this, right? That this stuff just ends up on the news over and over again. The bottom line is that, will Thomas be impeached? And I don't think so. But he's going to be gone. Not only I have seen this, but a lot of other psychics have seen this. He's going to be gone. Now, I do think, I mean, there is something, I'm seeing something with Jenny, his wife. I'm seeing something, pressure, perhaps even an investigation into Ginny Thomas regarding Jan 6 around Meadows, her text with Meadows. The guides have said, once we have Trump kind of locked in, or I don't know what the word is, kind of offline. They want to say the word offline because really his major power is his voice, is his dissemination of his, his thoughts and his edicts to his followers. So if you take him offline, remember the guide showed you of Freddie or whoever the mask is, putting the mask on him, gagging him. Basically, it's all the same. Taking him offline is exactly the same energy, which will happen, I think, in June. He will be offline, and then it's open season. It's open season for all of these other people who are co-conspirators. And, right now I just saw MTG and Gates and, all the ones, not just them, but all the ones. You know who they are. Jordan and just all of them. I can't see the name of the guy. I don't know if that's Jordan, the guy who ran out of the Capitol. They have that iconic picture of him running out of the Capitol in the middle of Jan 6. Such a jerk, right? So these people are all going to be investigated. And that pressure putting on Thomas. Here's the thing. Here's why I like the way I do things, because this is the way I do them, right? But I like to know the why. I like to go under, right? Under the story, under the surface. And here's the bottom line. The bottom line is that Thomas cares more about money than he does power. Now, a lot of people conflate the two or have to have both. Like Trump has to have both. He has to have power. He has to have money. He has to have respect. He has to have adoration. That's Trump's, like, his special elixir from hell. Well, guess what? Thomas doesn't care if you respect him. He doesn't care if you like him. He doesn't care. He doesn't care about the power. He cares about money. That's all he wants. And you want to know what else? He's done. He's ready to retire. He wants to be off of this. He sees it as a merry-go-round mixed with a rat race. It's a merry-go-round because you just keep doing the same thing over and over again and nothing ever changes. And to him, it's silly. It's stupid and silly. He really sees the Supreme Court as stupid and silly. His job as stupid and silly. And he sees it as a rat race because he has to do what his rat masters say he has to do. He wants off. So I believe that he's going to step down. And I believe that our next big challenge is coming. And that is not, believe it or not, it is not who replaces Thomas. I mean, this is crazy, I know, right? Our next big challenge is this. What rules, laws, because there aren't any, what rules or laws say that Thomas can't go work for a law firm or a think tank and make $1 million a month? Is it unethical? Probably. Is it like, oh my gosh? Yeah, definitely. Is there anything to stop him from doing it? No. No. Golden parachute is what the guides just said. This is something they always tell me when they want to give me 2 words for once that explains a lot. He's going to get a golden parachute. And for him, if somebody gave him, whatever it is, who knows? I don't know. Just, I'm just guessing here, right? Just to keep things on the legal up and up. If somebody were to give him $500,000 a month, he'd be gone tomorrow. The person who keeps him there is his wife, because she's the fanatic that thinks that the United States should go back to the 1800s. Thomas is the guy who thinks that even if it goes back to the 1800s, I'm still going to be a wealthy landowner, and I'm still going to be above the fray, and I'm still going to be above the law. Not true, Thomas, but, nice of you to think so, because when it gets to that point, the only people who are going to have anything are going to be white men. And, these people that believe that you could join the Republican Party and somehow get a card and be the one exception to the rule are wrong. Go back to the 1800s and find somebody and report back. Okay. So anyway, I feel like he's going to check out. I feel like he's going to check out. And I think the big challenge is going to be the brouhaha about whether or not a Supreme Court justice can retire and then go make millions of dollars on the open market. Because this is where we are, you guys. 45 is here to blow up all of our social constructs. All of the things that we thought were laws were just traditions, niceties. Nobody has to follow a tradition. Nobody has to follow some kind of social construct. If you don't want to, who's going to make me? If you don't make a law, and I mean a real solid law, these people will go around it, go over it, walk past it, give it the middle finger, make fun of it. And meanwhile, the Democrats have always been the ones who said, we are going to follow tradition. We're going to follow the law. The guides are showing me right now, for whatever reason, when Trump left the White House and Biden and Dr. Jill tried to go in the doors and it was locked. It was always a tradition that the president would greet the new president, show them around. Here's your new dining room. Here's this, here's that. Here's the staff. No, Trump left on a helicopter and left the doors locked. It was a tradition. Trump started his first day in office breaking all the traditions that we thought were laws. This is what Thomas is going to do. I mean, there are no laws against this, you guys. Thomas is going to besmirch the entire institution of the Supreme Court of the United States of America because he doesn't give a rat's ass about it. He doesn't respect that institution. And here we are, another lesson to learn. And if you're watching this from another country, this energy is not just for the United States. It's coming to a country near you. You have institutions, you have traditions that will also be besmirched, that will also be broken, that will also be, I hate to use the words, but shat on. I mean, they're showing me right now the royal family is going through all kinds of crazy things. Regardless of ethics, they're saying to me, we're not talking about ethics, Susan. We're talking about tradition. We're talking about the breaking down of traditions, of everything that was, meaning was, institutions, traditions, social contracts, social laws are now going to be dissolved. And we're going to get an opportunity to make them new again. It's death and rebirth. The question is, like they talked about with Congress in the United States, how will we remake them? How will we build anew? Will we put profit as our king and queen? Will we put humanity first? What will humans do? That's where we stand right now. What will humans do? And right now, I feel a little bit encouraged by what humans are doing, because I feel like maybe not 100%, nothing is 100%, but I feel more encouraged that we finally got aid for Ukraine. I feel more encouraged that I feel like there's going to be some sort of pause for reconciliation, and also reconsideration. They were using two words and I almost came out as one word, reconciliation and reconsideration between Hamas, Gaza, and Israel, and Netanyahu, all of that. And I also feel cautiously optimistic is the word about all of that, but I also feel cautiously optimistic about humans. We are joining unions. We are joining together. We are in the streets saying, we don't like this, we don't like that. We want our voices heard. We're not going to be sheeple anymore. We're not going to be sheep. We're just not going to go to work every day and come home and wonder why our lives suck. We're going to go to work, come home, and then call our representatives and our senators and whoever it may be for you, wherever you are in your world. It is power to the people on a global, earth-wide scale. Power to the people. If enough good people with hearts full of love and compassion, that's what we need right now. Even towards some of those people who've done us wrong. Yes, we need to put them in jail if there's a law, but if they're really contrite, if they're really coming to us and saying, we screwed up, we don't want this anymore. Allow them, trust but verify, but allow them some compassion. You don't have to bring them into your house and give them your room or your bed. You don't have to, give them the shirt off your back, but you can give them some compassion. I'm sorry that you went through that. I'm sorry you feel taken advantage of. I wish you all the best. That's it. That's all. Just a little compassion. Okay? Woo! Hopefully I'm channeling. I have no idea what I've said or how I've said it or how it all went together. I hope it did. Thank you so much for watching to the end of this video. I've got a lot of videos coming because there's a lot of stuff going on. I want to talk about how healthcare is going to be more publicly funded. Also, there's a lot of videos that are coming your way. So hit the subscribe button. Push the bell notification if you would like to know when I have a video. Take really, really, really good care of yourself. I just came back from a weekend in the trees in the Pacific Northwest, and I got to get some really good rest and relaxation done. So I can tell you it works, okay? Even if you can't travel, read a book. Just read some, light, trashy smut book. You know what I mean? Escape this for 10 minutes. It'll make you more resilient. It'll make you healthier, and it'll make you more active when you really need to be active. We need everybody to do something. Texting, volunteering, donating, whatever you can do. Even though I'm telling you we're going to win, we don't win it without you. We don't win it without the humans. This is what the guides just said. What will the humans do? What will they choose? Join me. Being active. Doing something makes you feel better. If you can be a poll watcher, if you can be a voter registrar, if you can work at the polls, if you can help someone, any candidate, again, any candidate. These Republicans are dropping like flies. Democrats are going to step in, but we don't have the infrastructure that Republicans have. We don't have the money that Republicans had before Trump took it all. So if you can step in and just help a local candidate do anything at all, literally do anything at all, help them organize their files, help them organize their mailing list, make phone calls for them, reach out to local businesses that might support them having an open house. There's 1,000 things that don't cost any money, that maybe you're really good at chatting with people. Maybe you're really good at organizing things. Maybe you've got an extra $20. Maybe your writing is legible and you can write postcards. Maybe you can just sit on your phone and text. It's easy. Just contact local Democrat club, contact any kind of group and say, I want to do text banking. They'll show you how. They'll give you a script. You just do it for 30 minutes or an hour. Boom, you're done. You've really contributed to the greater good. What will humans do? Let's show them what we'll do. Take really, really good care of yourself. Talk soon. for entertainment purposes only.